2024. Let's do this. So, Happy New Year. Hope you've had a good one, New Year, Christmas, whatever you've been celebrating. I am currently just sitting down, planning my New Year goals. It's currently the 4th of January, so I have sort of had these in mind, you know, before January started and the past 4 days. But today is the first day. My daughter and my son are both at childcare, and so I'm free to have a moment to myself to just think about what I would like to do with my life for the year of 2024. Hello, if you are new around here, if it's the first time you've clicked on my page, welcome. My name is Caroline. I have 2 little kids. I have a 4-year-old little boy called Ellis and a 1.5-year-old. Oh my goodness, she's gonna be 18 months next week. 18-month-old baby girl called Quinn. We live in Essex and I currently am not working at the minute. I quit my job after my maternity leave ended in July last year. It just wasn't working out for me, so I quit that job, and my husband does work, which is very helpful because otherwise we'd be in a lot of trouble right now. Anyway, that was a random turn. I didn't expect to say that. Anyway, so today I'm just going to share with you the goals I have planned for the year 2024, although I have been seeing online that the January shouldn't actually be the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year should be in March. Is it at the spring time? Because this time of year, I don't know the full science behind it, if science is the right word, but I think they say that November, December and October, is that right? Are the 3 months the Romans? Am I making this all up? Is it a group of people added on 3 months of the year which shouldn't be there, which is why December, November and October don't make sense, because October is the 10th month, but Oct means 8. So it doesn't make sense. So there's 3 months somewhere been added in willy-nilly. I don't know, I digress. But so technically you should start your New Year's resolutions in March, but I'm not going to do that because I feel like January is a fresh start for me, even though the darker days and the colder, more cozy feels should be more of a time just to hunker down and just carry on going, and then when the sun starts up again in spring, to start your New Year's resolution. But anyway, I'm doing my New Year's resolutions now because that's what everyone does, and I'm going to join in. So I have set my goals into 6 categories, kind of, just to make my life easier. Personal, self-care, health, family and friends, career and home. That's just how I've sort of grouped them together. I know a lot of them overlap, but that's what I've done. I'm quickly going to run through a few of the 2023 resolutions to let you know how I got on. Some of them in my 2023 resolutions are also in my 2024 resolutions because they're just continuing on. First of all though, the one which I didn't expect to be the one I wouldn't achieve because it's completely out of my hands is me handing in a letter to my doctors regarding a possible diagnosis for ADHD. I handed in that letter. Have I heard anything from my doctor since? No. Have I chased them? Also no. I have chased him when I phoned up the doctors to ask for other questions, and I have been told the doctor knows about your letter, and that's as far as we've got with it. Am I pushing them? No, I'm not too fussed. So obviously, much like all the millennials around, I have self-diagnosed myself with ADHD because it's what you do. I do think that I could have elements of it. If I have ADHD or not, I don't know. Obviously, I need a doctor to tell me that, but I'm just going to carry on as normal. If I get an appointment with the doctor, great. If I don't, then whatever, it's fine. I can carry on as long as I can manage my own expectations and manage my own symptoms, shall we say, although I don't know if it's a symptom of ADHD or not is the correct term, but we're just going to go with it. We're just going to, just like I say, carry on. It's too much hard work to chase a doctor's surgery. I've been on hold for the doctors before for about an hour trying to get appointments and stuff, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So that's my first New Year's resolution of 2023, which I failed. Not my problem. The next one I did fail, but I'm happy with the result. And I wanted to read 50 books in 2023, and I was doing so well with it. I read 6 books in January. I don't know how many books I read for the rest of the year, I can't remember, but I didn't complete it. I read 34, which is 16 off my complete target of 50 books. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, I can't do maths. So yeah, I didn't meet my goal. Am I disappointed in myself? Yes, because I feel like I definitely could have met my 50 book goal, but I just got sucked into the world of scrolling on my phone. So that will be, and the same, I will be doing the 50 book challenge again this year. Spoiler, but 34 is fine. The year before, I think in 2022, I only got to 22-ish books, so it's definitely an improvement. Granted, in 2022, I did have a newborn baby, but there's no excuse, is there? So 34 books was all I managed last year. Cleaning wise, I wanted to take on again the organised mum method in 2023. That didn't go, literally I said it in my video and I didn't once use that method. I don't particularly really enjoy the method. I did at first when I did start using it, and then I just found myself getting lost within it. So I've changed how I do cleaning. I say change, I want to change how I do cleaning, because at the minute it's sort of just a frantic, get annoyed about all the mess and then do a frantic clean. I don't like doing that, so I'm going to change it for this year. It's sort of a take on the organised mum method, but my own version. I will come back to that in a minute. And then what else on there? 2 more things 2023. One is my early wake. So I've mentioned this 1,000 times. I enjoy waking up before the kids. The 2 books that inspired me to do this are the 5 a.m. Club and the Miracle Morning. Both of the books I highly recommend. I did do a good chunk of time before I went on holiday in October of waking up at 5 a.m. I was pretty on it. There's a few days where I missed it, but I was very good at waking up at 5 a.m. Then went on holiday in October, and then everything just sort of fell down. I was just like, I couldn't get up early. I think it's just because of the run up to Christmas, I was exhausted. Nothing worked. Can say from the beginning of January till now, these past 4 days, I have been waking up before the kids, not 5 a.m. I have been waking up at 6 a.m. I do need to get to the 5 a.m. point though. And then the final thing for 2023 is social media. I wanted to set myself a goal last year of posting on TikTok regularly, Instagram fairly regularly, and YouTube regularly. And I think I did quite well on the YouTube front. I wanted to set myself a goal of 3 videos a week. I think for the most part, I didn't do too badly on that. I did have a few weeks where I didn't post. Life gets in the way. I need to find a better way of organising my time, because I just found myself planning too much and then not give myself enough time to actually do the editing or the filming. Too much time planning. So that's something that I will be working on, and I think I'll continue with the 3 videos a week thing, 2 regular videos and 1 short, which is usually a repurposed TikTok. TikTok is fine. I find TikTok very easy to do. It's just sort of as and when you feel like it. Instagram is a whole different kettle of fish. I have pretty much, I don't want to say given up on Instagram, but I don't understand the platform anymore. It's not working for me at all. I don't enjoy it very much. Instagram doesn't really give you much. It doesn't give you any benefit of being on the platform. That's my biggest concern with it. I don't get any joy. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? Is Instagram a or to you? Let's just get into why we're here. The 2024 resolutions, if you will. My personal goals. First of all, 50 books. We are going to stick with the 50 books. Should I lower that number? Maybe. But I like to have a harder challenge to reach. And this is something I want to do for ages. I want to be better at speaking Spanish. I do not speak Spanish. I did Spanish when I was in secondary school. So I have a very basic understanding of it. I have the Duolingo app. I really enjoy the Duolingo app, and it was something I wanted to take on last year, but I thought it wasn't necessary really last year. I had enough on my plate with a 6-month-old baby at the time. Now she is in nursery 2 days a week, and life is a little bit more predictable, and life is never predictable, but you know what I mean. Like, you just sort of like, you're more in the swing of things with routines and whatnot. I figured I probably do have space in my day for a 10-minute Spanish Duolingo class, so I will like to do that. And then another one, which is something which I've always wanted to, I have a degree in photography and video. It is what I studied at university, and the photography side of it has definitely gone by the wayside. And I have a camera, I've got all the equipment. I'm more of an outdoorsy photographer than I am a studio photographer. And so I just, it's just the going out and taking photos, something I don't do. And I really enjoy it. So I want to see if I can start taking more photos on my proper camera, not on my phone. So that's the plan. I don't know how or what that's going to look like. Maybe I need to set myself goals, maybe to go on Pinterest and see if they've got any like photography challenges. I don't know. But I'm going to see if I can try and take up photography again, because I really enjoy photography. It's just something it's just one of those things you just sort of like forget to do. So that's the personal goals for me. Self-care wise, self-care is early mornings. That is my biggest self-care thing. If you can, never underestimate the power of waking up before your children. It's something that gives you so much more when you can wake up before your kids. Obviously you have the evenings when your kids are in bed, but that time I personally spend sitting down and not doing anything productive. Or in the morning, if you can wake up before your kids, your whole day could be a different day because you've just had a moment just to plan, think, breathe, and you sit down, you just have time to yourself. It's not running around cleaning, it's just sort of like just sitting and being. Highly recommend. And I don't mean just sitting watching TV or scrolling on your phone. I mean like it's productive mindfulness, I suppose. So that is something. And then obviously coming hand in hand, which is the bit I really struggle with, is going to bed early. I'm going to try and get my bedtime to be 10:30, and I mean lights off at 10:30. I mean, if I want to read in bed for a bit, then that's okay. But recently it's been midnight or gone midnight, which is when you've got a baby that wakes up whenever she feels like it. That doesn't work. You can't be doing that. So that's something I need to really work on. Another self-care thing I'm doing, which is sort of self-care, I suppose. I'm not sure if maybe it is, I don't know. I'm putting it under this bracket anyway. I'm doing a challenge over on my TikTok. It's a £500 monthly budget challenge. And that is essentially that I'm not spending more than £500 this month. And that, obviously, with the caveat of me not working, is £500 from my savings because I have no income. But my husband obviously will be taking care of the bills and the house and things like that. But my £500 budget is like kids stuff, kids clubs, food. I'm going to see. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to see if I can have a monthly food budget this month of £250, and I'm going to really try and stick to that because food is really easy to waste money on because you just go into Sainsbury's and you go in there for bananas and you end up spending £80 on all those wondrous things. So I'm going to see if I can stick to a budget, really stick to the budget of £250. Haven't had to buy any food so far this year, 4 days in, because we've got enough food in the house from Christmas. So we'll see when that happens. We will see. That's all I have for self-care, because then health is sort of self-care. So health-wise, exercise 3 times a week. I have a Peloton bike and I haven't been using it at all recently. My husband uses it a lot, so it's not going to waste, but I need to get back on it because I'm not. 3 times a week exercise, and I tend to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that is before the kids wake up again. If I try and do it any other time, I'm not doing it. Flexible, that's another thing, flexible. So my goal, one of my goals, if you anyway know me in real life, there's not many people that watch me on here because I have no friends anyway. Flexibility, I have wanted to do the splits since I was about 9. Have I ever been able to do the splits? No. Have I tried to learn how to do the splits? Yes. Before I had kids, I was practicing doing the splits almost every morning. I haven't stretched really properly for a long old time. And so I would love to be able to do the splits. Love to do the splits. I have no rhyme or reason for it. There's absolutely no need for me to be able to do the splits. But it's just one of those things, you know? I want to die at the ripe old age of 208, knowing that I one time in my life could do the splits. And then the final thing for my health goals are food and baking. So I have mentioned this again on my TikTok, and I have a KitchenAid. I've used it about 5 times. And that's not what they're there for. I want to be more of a baker, a master baker, if you will. So I want to start being, I want to be a baker. I want to be able to do it all. I want to be able to be that mum who can just whip up cakes for the cake sale, make some cookies, you know? I want to be that person. And so that is a goal of mine, to learn how to bake and bake properly. Similarly, is food-wise, meals for my husband and I are usually fairly decent. We're pretty average. I wouldn't say we're overly healthy. We're a vegan family, but that doesn't mean anything in these days with the amount of options you have. Not super unhealthy, we're not really healthy. But my kids, on the other hand, I don't feel like I'm giving them enough good food. We're very much reaching for the pesto pasta with chicken, vegan chicken dippers, fish fingers, and things like that. And I want to be more experimental, I suppose. I also want them to be eating well. My son, especially 4-year-old, he isn't a picky eater. He'll happily eat most things. Obviously, he's 4. He definitely has his favourites and not favourites. But yeah, I feel like, you know, lunchtime will always be a sandwich. Which is nothing wrong with that, but I just want to give him more varied options for dinner and lunch. So that is something I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking through the millions of cooking books I've got and trying out recipes we haven't really tried before, or maybe only had once or twice, and making enough for the kids to have as well, because I think we're not really eating together much as a family. With my son finishing school at 3:30 or whatever time he finishes, he'll come home and for the most part, the kids will have dinner around like 4:35 because they're hungry, and then me and my husband won't have dinner until after they're in bed, which is fine. Get it? When they're older, we'll eat together, but when we're all eating at a normal time. But I would like to maybe try and plan for more meals together, and then obviously all having the same meal, so it's not me and my husband having a fancy meal and they're just having, like I say, burger and chips. Coming under the family wholesomeness is I want to plan at least 5 family days out, and I'm not talking days to soft play. I'm not talking going to the playground. I want to have like 5 actual days out, just the 4 of us doing something together as a family unit. It's something I wanted to do last year. We didn't really get much time to do that, but then we went on holiday together, so I guess that sort of makes up when you're in a hotel room together for 2 weeks. Yeah, I would like to see some more proper days out as a family of 4 now. And nothing expensive, just things together to be spending time together. And then in the same brackets, I'd also like to try and make time to see more of extended family. Sometimes we find ourselves, as we all do, life gets in the way and you just don't make time to go see your extended family. So that's sort of an add-on to the family days out. And then the other thing is, which is a new one, which came about yesterday, I suppose. Yeah, which is not the most positive of things. I guess the other thing in the family and friends bracket is to say goodbye to friends who are not worth your energy. I'm having a bit of a mean girl situation for me. Unfortunately, I'm on the receiving end of that. It's fine. I'll move on. I'll get past it. People are not worth my time. But yeah, so one of my things for this year is to just not put energy into people who are not putting energy in me. And so, yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment, not what you expect at the ripe old age of mid-30s. But it is what it is. Home-wise, so I mentioned about the organised mum method wasn't working for me, and it's still not. I don't know what it is. Something about it just won't absorb into my body. So I'm going to try and start my own cleaning routine. My big thing, I wanted to start this last year and I didn't, I just completely forgot. So I'm going to set a reminder on my phone to go off at 2:30, and then for half an hour, 20 minutes before I've got to go get my son from school, I'm going to do some sort of clean. I've got a little spinny wheel, my favourite thing, the spinny wheel, which will give me a random thing to clean in the house, or obviously if I know of an idea of somewhere that needs to be clean, like for example today I'm going to try and clean my desk because it's such a mess upstairs. So I just want to just dedicate the short amount of time a day to doing some form of cleaning. Obviously throughout the day I need to be, you know, putting things away and tidying the kitchen after dinner and breakfast and whatnot, but just want to have a focused 20 to 30 minute time just to clean something, because as I mentioned earlier, the only way I clean at the minute is I just get really irritated with the amount of mess and dust I can see, and then get really shouty, mainly at my husband, I'm sorry, and then I just have a mad clean and like in a huff about it, which isn't really very productive, have to say. So yeah, I need to sort that out. So that is something that I'm going to try and start doing. 20 minutes, half an hour a day, which is very manageable. That is sort of what the Organised Mum method does say, but she does it room by room, whereas I would just rather have bits of the house I'd rather clean, because room by room I think it's just sort of like, well, it's not dirty, so I'm not going to bother cleaning it. I won't bother anymore. Like, you know, that's the sort of like mentality I'd go through. So that's that. And something I thought to myself literally the other day, and I had an enlightened moment, is to see the bigger picture. So for example, I get very, as I mentioned, get very annoyed by when I see mess. I think mess and clutter and dust, if I notice it, I start to get really aggravated by it, and then I'm annoyed that I haven't cleaned it and why have I let it get that way? And let's be serious, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Just wipe it down, it's gone. There's no problem. Why am I getting so upset and stressed out about it? I don't know. Maybe I need to see a therapist. I don't know. But yeah, so I need to remind myself, see the bigger picture. There's loads of dust on the banister. Just wipe it down. If you haven't got time to wipe it down, you can wipe it down later. Nothing is going to change. See the bigger picture. Life is going on. The dust will be there. You know it's there. You know you will clean it at some point. That's my sort of mentality. Hopefully I can try and keep to this and not get myself worked up. So far, not so good. I have reminded myself of the bigger picture, but it hasn't helped calm the annoyance I get. But that's something I'm going to work on. Obviously, we're only day 4. We'll give ourselves a bit of a break. But that's the plan, to see the bigger picture. And then the final thing, my career, what am I doing? Everyone likes to ask. It's a good question. I don't actually know the answer to it. However, this is the predicament I have myself in. Schools are stupidly length days, whatever, like 6 hours a day. It's not very convenient for anyone who has to get a normal job, because jobs are 8 or 9 to 5, commuting on either side of that, and then school is smack bang in the middle, and you can't be late to collect your kid. Nurseries, my daughter goes to nursery 2 days a week. If I were to get a full-time job, we'd have to increase the nursery days, obviously, and then my salary would need to match that. And this is where we find the situation a lot of working mums are in, where you are essentially paying for your kids to be at nursery, and it's just completely pointless. Why nursery fees so expensive? Why are the salaries not more? Why is cost of living happening? Why the Tories are current government? Anyway, so job-wise, I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out. I would like to maybe see if I can find something remote. Obviously, that made my life a lot easier. Something temporary or part-time is what I'm looking for. So I've done a bit like Googling, seeing what I can find. Nothing has come out yet, but I'm looking for a job somewhere, somehow, whatever I can do. Social media wise, I'm not really making any money from social media. I make a little bit of money every so often from YouTube. Not really. The views of YouTube have definitely reduced a lot since TikTok's come about. Understandably, I spend more time on TikTok now myself. TikTok wise, one of my goals last year was to stick with it, and I did. And I've done well enough, I suppose. I haven't made any money off TikTok yet. I'm now at the point on my TikTok followers where I can start monetizing my content, but you have to have the views to get the money, and the views are still not there yet. It's fine, I keep going. TikTok's one of those things where a random video will take off, and then the one you spent bloody hours creating has got like 6 views. So it's just something I'm going to keep on going on with, and keep on, hopefully one day I'll be able to monetize it properly and get some proper money off TikTok. Or YouTube. Instagram, as I mentioned, there's no point, because you don't get any money at all unless someone reaches out to you. And miscellaneous resolution, which is one that is completely off piece of everything else I just mentioned. I want to learn to reverse Bay Park, because I'm jealous of everyone that can reverse Bay Park. I cannot do it. I think I learned how to do it when I did my driving test, obviously, but I never fully understood how to do it. I just listened to what the instructor was telling me. Thankfully, it didn't come up in my actual test, otherwise I would not have passed. I can parallel park more or less, sometimes takes a little bit of time, but we can parallel park, but we can't reverse Bay Park. And there's been some occasions when all those spots are taken and there's one really narrow one, and I just can't get in there, because obviously coming at it from the front isn't as easy as coming at it from the back. So that's the plan. I'm gonna try and learn to reverse Bay Park. That probably, of all the goals I've got to do this year, that one is one I must achieve, because that will make my life so much easier. That's it, they're my goals. I know it seems like a lot. Like, I know a lot of people go into the New Year's going like, I'm gonna quit smoking and that's it. For me, I feel like everything that I sort of plan for myself is like a sort of one big, making my life happier sort of circle. If I can achieve a lot of these things, my life will be easier. My mental health will be happier, everyone else will be happier around me. So that's why I sort of do so many things, because I need it all to be, if everything is working well, then I'm a happy person, you know? Anywho, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what your New Year's resolutions are if you have any. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you've liked this video. And like I said, I'll be posting hopefully 3 videos a week on YouTube. I need to plan what my next video is going to be, because I haven't planned that yet. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!